I almost feel like a stranger in this seat tonight. Good evening, everyone. It is 11 minutes, moving down past the 8 o'clock hour. It is such a pleasure to be back here after a couple of months, I suspect, of missing in action on the In the Spotlight radio show. Now, if you listen to my voice, you might realize that it is not the same, and it hasn't been the same since COVID. Some people might say, no, you sound the same. No, I don't. My voice has gotten a bit on the husky side, and that has been since COVID, you know. And COVID was actually partly responsible for me not being here for quite a while. But we're not going to dwell on that. It is a new year, 2023, and it is such a pleasure to be here. I should mention, guys, that by the time May comes around, May 13th, we will be celebrating an entire decade of doing this show. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year. Of course, we didn't do every Monday nights. You know, we missed we missed quite a bit, especially, you know, just recently we did as well. So that happened, you know. But with every show, you know, the shows on television and so on, most shows actually run by seasons. I don't really do seasons. I actually just run the show. And there are times, as I said before, you know, when things may happen and I'm not able to make the show. And it may be for a short period of time, it may be for an extended period of time, but at the end of the day, you know, I am here continuing with the In the Spotlight radio show. And this is my first show for the year. In fact, we were on schedule, you know, to start on the 9th in January, but there's always something. And up to last week, Monday, we were getting all set to go and something came up again. In fact, I was to open the year with the opposition leader, the new opposition leader, and that was supposed to be our very first program for the year. But I'm suspecting that we will do her after the carnival season. So we'll do carnival now until carnival is over, and then after carnival we get into the hard-hitting stuff in terms of getting going with the program. So good evening everyone, wherever you may be tuned in to the program. It is nice to have you. I know that many of you missed the program and that you've been longing for its return. But I think over the times that I was not there, we got some good repeats. We had some really good programs, and there were people who heard them already, but you know, still listened all the same because they truly enjoyed the programs, the quality of the programs, the guests, and so on. So guys, don't forget, we're on social media. We have the In the Spotlight radio show page where we're actually broadcasting from tonight. So if you want to get on, you go across to the In the Spotlight radio and TV shows page and you follow us, and you'll be tuned in to the program here tonight. Thank you to each and every one of you for continuously supporting in whatever way that you can, whether it's just moral support. It is greatly, greatly, greatly appreciated. To the true fans, those of you who really, really love us and, you know, missed us, we're happy to be back here for you. And hopefully there won't be a break in a hurry except for the holidays, which is Carnival Monday and Easter Monday and May Day and whatever other days that are coming up soon. But tonight, oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm always excited to speak to the Miss Dominica hopefuls. And we begin tonight with two of them in studios with us. We were scheduled to have three, but I was advised by the office of the Dominica Festivals Committee this morning that one of the contestants would not be able to make it. So hopefully she can join us next week Monday with the two other ladies that are scheduled for next week Monday. It's 5 ladies in all this time around, and truly beautiful young ladies. I've had the opportunity to interact with them prior to tonight, and I want them to be comfortable. So they had questions I may be asked, I may have asked during, and the other panelists during the mock Q&A. It's going to be nothing like that tonight. We're just going to relax and we're going to get to know you beautiful ladies. That's all it's going to be about tonight. We're relaxing. We're not trembling, we're not being nervous, nothing of this sort. Okay, ladies? Does that make you feel a bit more comfortable about tonight?
Yes.
Good evening to you.
Good evening to you.
All right, I hope that I have the correct mics for the both of you. We want to make sure that everyone hears you when you are speaking tonight. Yes, thank you for accepting my invitation to be on the In the Spotlight radio show. This is a show traditionally that has hosted the Queen Contestants. In the past, I have done it sometimes individually, so every contestant would get their own time of probably an hour or 45 minutes. I think the last time we did it, I actually did a combination like we're doing tonight. But either way, I think we're going to have a fantastic time, and the public is going to be pretty excited about getting to know you. So again, good evening everyone, and thank you for joining us. If you tuned in via Q95 FM, we're happy to have you. If you tuned in via the In the Spotlight radio show page, we're also pretty happy to have you as well. So ladies, are we ready?
Yeah.
We are? All right. So who's going to introduce themselves first? Is it contestant number 1?
Sure.
You are contestant number 1.
That's correct.
Please introduce yourself to us, my dear.
Good evening, everyone listening. I am Meeya Francis, 21 years old, from Keenfield. I am sponsored by Deconstruction Solution and Convenience Plus Limited.
All right. It is a pleasure to have you. Thank you again for coming.
Thank you as well.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I am 22-year-old Moesha Thomas from the community of Pittsburgh. Thank you again for tuning in and listening to us tonight. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. I am sponsored by the Dominica National Lotteries Commission.
Tell me a bit about your sponsor.
Dominica National Lotteries Commission has a history of supporting and sponsoring, of course, sporting activities, sporting and cultural activities on island. If we take some time to do a bit of research, we can see that they sponsored the Peachless Sports Club among a few others. And of course, they are the perfect sponsor because my platform is empowering women through sports. So we're a perfect collaboration in my opinion.
I hope that I can win the lotto one of these days, but you know, they say you have the lotto motto is you've got to be in it to win it. But I probably need to ask myself when last I was actually in it. Yes, Meeya, tell me about your sponsor.
Yes, so I'm sponsored by a sister company, so Convenience and Deconstruction. Convenience is located in Maho, and Deconstruction is located in Jimit. Convenience, you can go ahead and get all your grocery items, you know, from your biscuits, your juices, all grocery items. And Deconstructions, you'll be able to get all your hardware products like your nails, galvanized, and they also do a backhoe and trucking rentals. So also they have unbeatable prices, so you should check them out as well.
And both ladies are quite grateful to them for coming on board and
Definitely.
helping fund your Miss Dominica journey.
Yes.
You're from Pittsburgh, you said. Tell me about Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh is a very quiet community, and I am honored to have brought some people up, may have been for the first time on Friday for my luncheon. From what the people who are up there saw, you can tell that Pittsburgh is a very tight-knitted community. We are supportive of each other, and my time growing up was very hands-on. I believe my time in Pittsburgh, growing up in Pittsburgh, helped me become the creative individual and adventurous individual that I am today. I am capable now of planting or harvesting most root crops. There are not many trees that I cannot climb. I love the feel of the soil under my feet. I try to go home as much as possible, but if preparations for the Queen show now it's a bit difficult. I grew up by the bayside really, in terms that all free time, any free time that I had, I would try to get outside, and that was our activity. Going by the bayside, roasting breadfruit, cooking a one pot. That was the highlight of my youth in Piditsupre. And that is something that I look forward to doing in the future. But growing up, people leave the community, they get work in other countries, and so it's not as common anymore. It's not something that we usually do, but it's a story, it's a history that I will keep speaking about, something that I want to tell my children when I grow up for sure.
So in terms of you being from Piditsupre, do you currently reside there, or do you reside in another part of Dominica?
I don't want to say I reside in another part of Dominica. I spend 5 days of the weekend in Maho, and on Friday afternoons I head back home because it's easier, it's closer to work. Yes, the early mornings and the bus ride from Piditsupre is not my favorite thing. And it can be very tiring to leave work and then head home, get home late, get up early in the morning to head back down again. And so living in Maho, it has helped with that, has reduced that workload. But on Friday afternoons, for sure, we're heading back home. And on Monday morning, I'm heading to Piditsupre. On holidays, we're going home. That is for sure. And on Monday mornings, for work bright and early, we're heading back down.
Meeya.
Yes. So I am from Kinfield, a very industrious community. And usually people would say that people from Kinfield aren't from Kinfield, they usually move into Kinfield. But just a little background, so my great-grandmother actually came from Moesha. She came down on the boat and she was working on the plantation, on the cane and lime field. So she basically had her family created in Kinfield, mainly the Roger area. So that entire area.
That's higher up, right?
That's correct, yes. So that's the area my entire family lives in, the Roger area. Growing up, I would say I had a very fun childhood. I only have brothers, I'm the only girl. Yes. So I grew up basically on the boyish side. So you see me on a board riding bicycle, no shoes, climbing trees. That was my stuff. And I feel that's the area where I actually put my love for sports, because I want to feel and play football with them, cricket, and all those good stuff. So I would say that it's a very quiet area. However, the area that I live in is only family, so I have that bond with them.
How many brothers do you have, and what was that like growing up with only brothers?
So I have 4 brothers.
Boy.
And I must say it's actually awesome. Before I'd say I want sisters, but I actually do appreciate my brothers because they have taught me so many life lessons. You know, being independent, stand up for myself. You know, I really love my brothers. So it's been great, I must say.
And you say that with a huge smile on your face. I really love my brothers. It's really genuine. Where do you fall within the 5?
So I am the 4th. I have a little brother as well. We do have a very strong bond. We do share each other a lot. So yeah, it's been great.
What about you in terms of your siblings? Moesha.
There are 5 of us. I have 2 older brothers, an older sister, and a younger sister. We are very close to each other. They're very supportive. To this day, I think my biggest blessing is my family. I don't think I could meet another group of people who are going to love and support me the way these people have. I look forward to boasting them everywhere that I go. These people are working so hard to ensure that I reach all of my goals. And throughout this journey, they have been the ones who not only handle the tidbits, which is very, very important, but you need people behind you to remind you that you are confident, that you are capable, especially on moments that you fall short. And you will fall short. You are not perfect. There are going to be moments where you compare yourself, which I advise that you do not do, but sometimes you cannot help it. And these people are people who are eager to ensure that I know my potential, and then I know what I'm capable of, and I go for whatever it is that I want.
I was forced to reminisce a bit on my own journey to the throne back in 1996. And one of the things that I remembered clearly, and as you're speaking about family, initially, my parents at the time, my father, my stepmom, they were not very supportive of the idea of me taking part in the competition. And even back then, and I'm coming to Meeya as it pertains to family as well, and not just family, but having a good team working with you. I didn't have a team. I had two men working with me, my brother and Alex Bruno. A member of the committee, assisted me. This Queen Show thing has really evolved, over the years. But getting back to the point that, not having the type of family support or having a strong team to hold your hand in this can be detrimental and stressful in an already stressful sometimes situation. Meeya, so we just heard from Moesha that she has this really strong family support on this journey. What about you? Do you have that same type of support?
Yes, definitely. So my brother was the one who actually advised me to go for the show, my eldest brother.
Okay.
Yes, he came to me and said, I think I have potential to go for the show, and I feel that you would do great. So I listened, and I decided to take that call and went up for the show. And from since then, my entire family has been on board with me, supporting me throughout the entire journey. Even simple things like, I'm proud of you, you're doing great. Those things really motivate me and push me to go on. And I'm very grateful for each and every one of them for that.
I hope they're tuned in. What about that inner circle, that team that is required as well? As I said, back then in 1996, we didn't really have that. I don't know if other people did. I didn't have that. I would have loved to have had that. But I know today, most young ladies contesting, they don't just have a chaperone, you're a whole team. Is that the same situation for the both of you? Do you have a team?
Yes.
And how important is that team to you?
Yes. So for me, I would say if you have a group, having a strong support system is great, and having a bond with that person. So I must say with my chaperone, we have grew a great bond. Initially, she was my supervisor at Claire Havler,
Okay.
and she's now manager as well. So we have grown a great bond throughout this time period. And with my team as well, we also have a great bond. So I feel that's very important when working with groups of people. So I must say thank you to them. I'm very grateful for that. Yes.
And I must say that you all do not seem under any pressure here tonight. At this point, the show is probably 2-3 weeks away. People will probably be under pressure. You all are very relaxed. I know I'm helping making you relax too, but I'm just saying, I'm not seeing that stress on your face. Is that as well? Can that as well be attributed to having this solid team working with you, Moesha?
For sure. I work at the Orion Academy, and I'm so happy to say that the staff at the Orion Academy make up at least 70% of my team. They have been supportive from day one. And it's not you got this. It's for sure, we're coming, we want t-shirts and all of that. And we will help you in any way possible. My chaperone, Mrs. Regina Walsh, is a relative. Yes, and I only found out when I asked her to help me on this journey. I owe her a lot. I do not know if chaperones usually do what she's doing for me, but she has taken up such a big role. And by the time I think of things that we need to do, it's already done, or it's handled. And sometimes things...
Well, she's a veteran in this
for
too, eh?
sure. By the time I think of things that needs to be handled, or she's done it, or she stays on top of things. Sorry. She's the person who would message very early, but before the day starts, for sure. to remind me of things I need to do throughout the day. Have you eaten? You know, are you okay? How was the interview? And it's not just my chaperone, it's my entire team. They're always listening. They're always ensuring that when I come back to the classroom, or when I come back to work, because most times I leave work to go to the interview to head back, they're here and they've listened. They have opinions, and it's a lot of positive remarks. And although you won't always be 100% positive, because you have to grow, you have to take negative things as well, constructive criticism, sorry. But it comes across in a way that I take it so well, because of the way they let me know the things I need to improve about myself. I am so grateful for my team. To be honest, my launching went perfect because of their help. It seemed as though I was so calm for it all, because I did not go into it with any stress. They handled everything.
You speak about where you're employed. Tell us more about that.
I work as a French and physical education teacher at the Orion Academy. This is my 5th year, or September, coming my 5th school year with them. It has been quite a journey, really, but I love my job. My students are very supportive, and although they do not realize it, they help me go through a lot of my stressful days. Because when you enter into a classroom, the students demand all of your attention. And so you leave your stress outside. And by the time I leave the classroom, I am laughing, I am happy, I am full of joy. I've got a joke that I want to share. And when I leave school, come to the list, I'm like, oh wait, there was something that worried me this morning, but only now it's back. They have helped me grow. For sure, I am so much more confident because of the students. I have grown into a leader because of the students. When you walk into the classroom, you have to show that you are here to teach. They can relate to you for sure, but you have to give that form of authority. And you cannot be too timid to be a teacher. But although it's been a learning process, I am grateful for the entire journey.
Why a teacher?
Very early on, I think what drew me to being a teacher was the idea that I got to correct exam papers and be creative, because really you get to be creative in the classroom, you get to role play and so on. During my first year, it was not of that at all, okay? It was a lot more challenging. But I stuck to it because I loved the challenge. I love that every day is a new day. You never get the same energy always. The students teach you to be flexible. They teach you to be creative. They teach you to be diligent. You learn new things. And I'm not sure any other job is going to challenge me or move me the way that teaching does. And I get things easy in my opinion because I teach creative languages. French, which the students love because they get to role play, they get to watch videos, they get to practice the language. And physical education because they love to be outside. They love the energy, and to me it's a break from the classroom. Perfect.
What age range do you teach?
11 to 16.
11 to 16, teenagers.
Yes.
Practically. Meeya, what about you, my dear?
Yes, so I work at Clare Harbour as a customer service representative. Currently, I'm a chat agent, so I deal with live chats. At Clare Harbour, I've learned a lot of life skills. Specifically, customer service, which I would say is one of the things we lack in Dominica. And Clare Harbour, I would say, has the best customer service in Dominica for sure. We go through a series of training for customer service. Also with flexibility. I have worked on 3 different departments at Clare Harbour. So I have done emails, I have done calls, and now chats. So we do learn a lot of things there. So communication skills, how to lead people, flexibility, and also how to multitask. Because I do work with 3 chats at a time, so 3 customers at a time. So you know you have to multitask. So also, Clare Harbour has been very helpful and assisting me with the show. They have been supporting me throughout the show, being able to allow me to go through my interviews, and I must say they're very supportive.
They're very supportive.
Yeah.
So you speak about, well, first of all, tell us what Clare Harbour is.
So Clare Harbour is a call center, and we do have different departments. So we do have an Agero department, which deals...
Wait, say that again?
Sorry, Agero. Ajero.
Okay, what is that?
Yes, so they deal with roadside assistance. So if your vehicle breaks down, just call on them and we have a tow truck sent out to you, or have someone come and fix your tire or bring you gasoline. Then we have farmers insurance, that's the department I'm on. So we deal with all policies. So adding vehicles, insuring vehicles, deleting vehicles, payments, billing, that's the department I work on.
Okay.
Yes.
So you spoke earlier about doing chat live.
Yes.
Explain to us a little bit more about that. And that you have to chat with 3
That's
customers
correct.
at one time.
That is correct.
How does that work?
So, not the entire day. So
Right.
we have a maximum of 3 chats. So sometimes I'll have 2 chats, sometimes I'll have 1 chat. But on a busy day, I'll have all 3 chats at the same time. So what we do, we have 2 screens. So we mainly focus on like about 2 chats. And what it also has as well, at the top of the chat, like a red light. So you know when that chat is overdue. So you go ahead and check that chat and then ensure the customer is
Is there like a timer on it or something?
Yes, 3 minutes.
So if you don't say anything there for 3 minutes, a red
It's
light
sent red.
comes
So
on.
you know you have to go back as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And yes, so we try to focus on 2 at a time. Well, once lights comes on, and assist the customer in about 8 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And you said you've worked with email and you've worked in another department
Yes.
as well.
Yes, I work with iRobots. So that is actually a cleaning robot. So it cleans your home. We had the mop and the sweeper. So our job basically was to troubleshoot the robot. So if it has an error message, we know what to do to have the error message resolved, or clean the brushes of the robots, or change the wheels. That was very fun, I must say, because every day is something new, and it was very interesting.
And you're saying that the place you work has the best customer service, and you mentioned the fact that there's a lot of training that you undergo.
That's correct, yes.
Yes. All right. So Claire Harbour Pioneer Prep. So that's Orion Academy. Sorry, Pioneer Prep is the other sister, right? So you ladies, that's where you are at as we speak. So let us talk about what the plans are. We will get into why the pageant and all of that in just a while. We still just want to get to know you a bit better. So what does the future look like though, in terms of career? And give us a sense of what your education has been like so far, the journey you've been through in terms of getting yourself educated.
Okay, so for me, I studied at the Good Old Primary School, and I moved on to the Convent High School, and after that was the Dominica State College. In the future, I would like to be a medical doctor.
What type? What type?
So I like to specialize in ENT, and nurses and thirds. My love for the field grew since I was young. You know, my mother had a group of fissures from A to Z, and it had this specific one with the anatomy of the body in 3D. And that was my favorite fissures. I was to watch the pictures and just go through the pictures every day. And you know, I love taking care of people, dealing with people. I just feel that was my passion. And at the age of 13, my cousin, he died at 16, and he too wants to become a medical doctor. So with my love for the field, along with his legacy, I decided that I want to become a medical doctor and specialize in ENT.
And of course, there is the opportunity for the scholarship.
That is correct.
If you do get that scholarship, where would you like to pursue your dream of becoming a medical doctor?
So I haven't confirmed that yet, but I'm looking at maybe Grenada or a school in the US. But Grenada is very good for sure, so I'm definitely looking that direction.
You're looking at that direction.
Yes.
Okay. What about you, Moesha?
I started off at the San Jose Primary School. Then I went to the Castle Secondary School, and I have an associate degree in French from the Dominica State College. That's where my education journey ended. Actually, I went on to do a few certificates to strengthen myself when I started teaching from different universities, but just certificate fairs. I want to go on to become a strength and conditioning coach. In the future, I would like to pursue a master's degree in sports and education. In the event that I do receive the scholarship, of course, the next step would be my bachelor's. which I also want to receive my sports and education degree in, and then master's, sports and education, finally strength and conditioning coach.
Tell us what is strength and conditioning, and why do you want to pursue that in particular? Why do you want to specialize there?
Okay, a strength and conditioning coach focuses on the physical improvement of an athlete's body. So of course they look at the science, how to improve an athlete, how to train them properly with very little damage, and how to deal of course with damage to the tissue and the muscles of an athlete. In terms of why a strength and conditioning coach, when you go into sports and education, when you go get into a degree like that, you're not only learning how to better an athlete physically, you're also able to mentally improve an athlete. And I believe athletes need to be ready to deal with their losses, their wins, and their progress. So while I want to be amazing at physically improving an athlete, ensuring that they're their best selves when they get on the track, when they get on the field, I also want to know that in the event that an athlete has worked so hard and that win was not theirs, they know how to leave that track, how to not completely damage their self-esteem. And when they go in and they receive the win that they have been looking forward to, they still remain humble. They're still looking forward to the next race, to improving themselves. Because I know athletes who deal with anxiety. I myself, when I did track, I had a fear of competition, and to me it was terrible. I think it prevented me from reaching my full potential. And so I believe that there is more to a coach than just saying, you know that you've trained for that, go out there and do your best. Sometimes that is not enough for an athlete. And so I want to be prepared on how to deal with situations like that.
I think that's excellent. I think both of you spoke about being involved in sports, am I correct? Yeah. So you just mentioned track. Tell me about your involvement in sports, and if you've achieved anything from it.
Sure.
Come to me.
I started the track in primary school. It started off as cross country, and we went to the primary school national games. I went on to secondary school, and it was in second form when I broke my first national record in the 1,200 meters. That is still standing. I'm so proud of that.
Oh.
Yes, I competed regionally. I represented Dominica regionally for 7 years in track and field. Then when I went to college, I think I took a step back from how seriously I took track. But also I mentioned that I had a fear of competition. I think all of the coaches who travel with me can say that, okay, she was a bit of a crier before the competition.
Tell me what you mean by that though, when you say that you feared competition.
Okay.
Did you fear your competition, or did you fear taking part competitively?
Overall, I'm a bit of a pessimist, so I anticipate the worst case scenarios. Now in my mind, no matter how prepared I am, I still felt as though, okay, maybe my potential is not enough. Maybe I'm not ready enough for that competition. And then even when I step out and then I see my competition, I'm like, okay, for sure, I've already been beaten. And that is not something you should do to yourself at all. I learned very early on that allowing even a bit of doubt to settle, it will run for sure, and then you will never catch yourself again if you allow that bit of doubt to run. Saying to myself very early on that I've already lost that race has affected my results. If I went into it with confidence, with my ability, I felt as though I would have performed so much better for sure. And so when I went to college, of course, I still had the ability. I was still able to do very well for my country.
Have you gotten over that?
The fear of competition?
Because you're in a competition
I
right
am
now.
I felt as though what I needed to do was admit to myself that that you are here, you are ready. There's a reason that you're doing this. You have the talent, and so just go with it. I took a step back from track and field in college because I realized that going into competitions with the potential, but still failing to believe that I am capable of that was not doing me any favors. And so I wanted, and I received an injury. My cartilage was very thin, and so I had to take some time off to completely cure, to rejuvenate. And so I used that time to work out all the things that I have, all of my successes, and taking a look at the moments where I have failed myself, right? And so I'm looking at it and saying, if I did that then I would have been so much further than I am now. What caused me to behave the way that I behaved? What can I do for myself in the future? And that is also one of the reasons why I'm pushing for that sports and education degree. You don't want that to happen to any other athlete who has the potential to succeed. And I am part of the Striders Athletics Club. My club has been so supportive through the entire journey. I have an amazing coach, for sure. Do I want to get back into track? Absolutely. I know for sure a day is going to come where I will not be able to compete, and I'm going to absolutely miss being on that field, being active. But I've taken some time, and I have grown. I have changed the way that I look at competition. This was another go at it.
You have to.
Yes, for sure. I think that Miss Dominica pageant was another go at it to ensure that I have changed my mind about how I view competition, and I have seen the difference. So for sure, I am ready to get back out there in all aspects, in all competitions. Life is a competition. I just have to be ready.
I'm coming to you, Meeya, but what is the lesson though for you in that experience and that fear of competition that you went through?
I think overall the lesson is that fear is going to come. It is going to come. Whether or not you are prepared, whether or not you are ready, there's going to be some nerves before the event when you get there. The important thing is what you do with that fear. So are you going to let it deter you? Are you going to let it ruin your potential? Or are you going to let that be a driver to be absolutely better? Okay, I'm afraid of it. My competitors seem better, but you have the potential. So let's see what you can do. Changing your mind about how you view that fear and what you allow it to do to you.
Meeya, Moesha the M&M. Moesha did track and field. Let's hear what you did.
Yes. So firstly, with sports, I really love sports because that's the place I really express myself. When I play sports, I'm a completely different person, I must say. So
you let your hair down and
Oh. So my career started at primary school, where I also did track like Moesha, and I didn't continue after primary school with tracks. However,
what did you do in terms of track? What did you run? What did you?
It was the 100 meter.
100 meter?
Yes, 100 meter. And after primary school, I went to Convent High School, and that's where I really branched out a bit more. So I did football and netball. Yes.
Totally different from track and field.
Yes. So football was my favorite sport. I love both, but I really do rather football than netball. Then in college, I did football, basketball, and netball. I did all three.
So you added.
Yes.
You added some more.
I did.
So we're talking so far track and field, football, basketball, netball.
Yes.
Wow.
And then after college, I went ahead and did handball. And
okay, you're a real sports girl.
Yes. So I recently did represent Dominica in handball. We went to Barbados. So the journey has been great. I really do enjoy playing my sports. It has been a great journey, I must say.
Okay, so tell us what is handball. How is that played?
So there is two types of handball. There is beach handball.
No, your hands are pretty small and you have pretty slim fingers. So tell me about handball.
So there's beach handball and there is hard-court handball.
Okay.
So in hard-court handball, on the ball you're able to have some glue. So it does stick your hand when you catch the ball. So it's similar to football but with your hands. So you throw the ball in the goal. So you run the ball and throw it in the goal. With beach handball, the same as well. However, you can also roll the ball on the sand, but the same concept. You have to throw it into the goal.
And one of them, you're allowed to have glue?
Yes, on the ball, so it's a bit sticky.
So
you're able to have the ball with more control. Yes.
And that's allowed?
Yes, it is.
Okay, it doesn't stick, the ball doesn't stick on your hand?
it doesn't stick to the extent it kind of come off.
Okay.
So it sticks when you kind of able to the skirt off, and you can bounce the ball as well.
Mm-hmm. So that's handball, and you said you recently represented Dominica?
Yes.
Oh, where?
We went to Barbados. We were supposed to go ahead to Canada, but we didn't end up reaching to Canada. But we went to Barbados.
Okay, did you win?
So in Barbados,
Wait. Once there's a so.
we didn't really play the tournament in Barbados. We basically just did friendly tournaments.
Okay.
But the ones we did won.
Okay.
So-
Okay. Wonderful. And you say your favorite is football.
Yes.
Why football?
I don't have a specific reason why. I'll maybe say that's the one I really feel more free with. The one I'm able to express myself more. It's very enjoyable to me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Have you played for Dominica?
No, I haven't.
You didn't get the chance to play for Dominica.
No.
You still have a chance, to play for Dominica.
I do.
Yeah. Okay. Any injuries from? Well, yes, you said you got some injuries. What about you? Did you experience any injuries?
I have no injuries, no.
No injuries whatsoever.
Yes.
All right. Ladies, this has been so much fun so far. Just getting to know you, both. We're going to take a break so you can have your Twapita water. Thank you, Twapita, for providing us with some water. So they can just take a little sip of their water while you do this. And we're coming right back with Meeya and Moesha, contestant number 1 and number 2 in the Miss Dominica pageant, Windsor Park Sports Stadium, Carnival City, Thursday, February 16th, 2023. Who will wear the crown? We shall see, right? We're coming right back. This is the In the Spotlight radio show. 8:52 is the time in the studios.
In the Spotlight on Q95 Radio and your dance from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight, featuring people from all walks of Dominica life, spotlighting their triumphs and tragedies, dreams, hopes, and aspirations, untold stories, touching the human and personal side of all people in politics, religion, sports, business, music, culture, the media, and more. Getting to know our farmers, our public servants, youth, and ordinary Dominica. Listen to their stories. No invitations, no restrictions, no holds barred. In the Spotlight will also spotlight interesting topics, issues, and relevant situations. Don't miss In the Spotlight on Q95 FM Radio every Monday night from 8 p.m. In the Spotlight.
And we are back on the In the Spotlight radio show. 8:55 is the time in the studios. Contestant number 1 and contestant number 2 in the Miss Dominica pageant for 2023, Meeya Francis and Moesha Thomas are joining us in the studios tonight. Just want to say good evening again to everyone tuned in to the program, whether you tuned in via the airwaves of Q95 or you're locked in via the In the Spotlight radio show page. To the teams of the ladies who are tuned in, the family members who are tuned in, I think they can feel your support right through the microphones, right through the phone. That is what they need. Support of family, friends, their teams. This journey is not an easy one. Meeya, let's start with you. Why did you make the decision to do this? And I'm going to go back again, I'm just going back down memory lane. When I did it in 1996, there was no scholarship. So I suspect it was a little more difficult to get ladies to participate. So members of the committee would go around, meet you, ask you, would you like to, we say, would you like to go up for Miss Dominica? But would you like to participate in the Miss Dominica pageant and so on? So I was approached, gave it some thoughts, eventually made the decision to do it. In recent times, we know there's been the offer of the scholarship. And we know that that has been a motivating factor, for ladies making the decision. But I want you to share with us tonight, was the scholarship a motivating factor? Or, was it just a general decision to take part? Meeya, we'll start with you.
Yes. For me, I have always loved pageantry from a very young age. So I remember growing up watching Toddlers and Tiaras, and it was very interesting, all the glitz and the glamour. And I only saw pageantry for just being beauty. However, growing up, I would watch local shows, the teenage pageant, the queen shows, and I found that's a great way where persons will be able to express themselves, build self-confidence, and also, assist with public speaking as well. I've always been a shy person. Always been shy. I would never imagine myself going up, for a show because I don't like public speaking. Well, previously.
Well, you're doing a very good job at it tonight.
Thank you. So, along with that, my brother was the one who actually came to me and told me that, I feel like you would do great to go for the show. And the next day, actually, he said that to me. I decided to go ahead and participate for the show. However, along with that, I do see that pageantry is a really great way where persons can raise awareness on platforms. And people are watching pageants all the time. People love pageantry. So bringing awareness on certain issues is really great, and it's a great area where persons can share certain issues in the country, even regionally as well. So for me, I wouldn't say that it's for the scholarship mainly, but to build my self-confidence, my public speaking, express myself, and make people see that you're capable of doing anything that you want to, anything you set your mind to.
I want to go back to your brother. Where did the idea come from? Did he hear an announcement on the radio? What inspired him to approach you and say to you, I think you can do this and you should?
I'm currently unsure, but I would say mainly because of my self-drivenness, or like how I carry myself, and he see that I'm able to do it. So he decided to ask me if I'll be able to consider going up for the show.
So he comes to you and he throws that idea at you. What goes through your mind initially? And did he have to do some further poking and pushing to convince you, or did you make up your mind almost instantly?
So actually, I did make up my mind instantly. Yes, he didn't do much work to convince me. I would say maybe because I felt like last year, coming into this year, that I already decided that I wanted to step out of it. I wanted to be different, to try new things, and I think that's the reason why I decided to just try something new with my life. Do something great, do something bold.
And it took your brother to just do that little bit of poking, and that was all you needed.
Yes.
And there you went with had you I know you said you watched a lot of tiaras and toddlers and tiaras and so on, but have you participated in any pageant yourself before the Miss Dominica?
So I haven't participated in like an official pageant, but I did one in my primary school, Miss Goodwill Primary, and I emerged first runner-up. I believe yes, first runner-up. So I have like a pageant.
A pageant is a pageant. So it could have been in primary school. It is still a pageant, right?
Well, yes. So I did have a tad experience in pageantry. But yeah, that's the only one I had.
What about you, Moesha?
Although Very good?
Yes.
Okay. Although the scholarship is a motivator, I don't think just the scholarship is enough or was enough to make me go for the pageants. As Meeya mentioned, I too am used to be a bit timid. I'm growing. But the main reason I decided to vie for Miss Dominica is because of my the future career that I want to get into. Sports, as I mentioned, sports and education, that degree will lead you into career options or into careers where you have to take on a leadership role or be in authority, and you need to be able to speak, to be confident, to express yourself well. The Miss Dominica pageant is a development program. You meet people, you learn to be confident, you learn public speaking, as Meeya mentioned, you learn will and determination, time management for sure. And I want to stress on the determination and the diligence, because of course there are going to be moments where you are so exhausted and there's so many things to do that you want to give up, but you know the reason why you're in this and you bring out a drive that you did not know existed. And of course these things are values that you can look back on and say, okay, I have done this before, I have succeeded before, I have been through that before, and going further into life, that because of my history in doing these things, I can overcome difficulties, okay? I am now able to step into a room and not keep my head down. I can raise my head and confidently walk into the room. Or if I'm called upon to speak on something I am passionate about or on any particular topic, it's not a matter of, okay, what I'm going to say, I'm going to stutter a bit. No, because of public speaking, because of the interviews, because of the conversations that you have had, you can now simply step up, impromptu speak, have a conversation, go on a talk show, something. And also your platform. Your platform is very important. You are now given a responsibility. You are now an ambassador for the youth, for your community, for your country. And I believe that is a huge responsibility, to know that I am going out and I am representing women in sports. Not only with my experience, but also because of the values that I know that sports bring to women. Because I know of the social issues that sports can prevent, that sports can help with. Then simply bringing that issue to light, I might be just one voice, but I know there are other people listening. Okay, for sure, I know what sports can do. I know that in Dominica there are many talented athletes. So you are putting together a group of people. There are people rallying behind your platform, and you're bringing issues to light. You are putting out ideas, and these things, when you bring out these ideas, when you bring out these issues, there are plans in place. You are standing beside people who are capable of bringing you ideas or putting these ideas into reality, and that to me is very important.
You mentioned the platform, and this is something that was introduced a few years ago as well. You started talking a bit on your platform, so tell us a bit more about your platform, and Moesha, you get ready to share with us, Meeya, you get ready to share with us too in a while. So continue and give us a bit more on the platform, why you chose the platform that you're putting forward for the pageant, and where you expect to take it from there.
Okay. Again, for those who are now tuning in, I am vying on the platform, empowering women through sports. I have a history in sports. I am currently a track coach and a physical education teacher at the Orion Academy, and I'm always looking for new opportunities to better my capabilities, to better my potential, to ensure that whatever I'm passing on to the students, whatever I'm teaching them, is going to be for their betterment. Now, oftentimes when we speak about women in sports, when we speak overall about sports, we think about the career options that sports can bring. You can become a strength and conditioning coach, like I want to be. You can be a sports nutritionist, a sports psychologist, an athlete, of course. But we tend to forget to mention the values that sports can bring to an individual. Values such as self-reliance, resilience, determination, zeal, will. I believe all of these are very important. Now, in one of my interviews, they asked me, why women? Why women? I focused on women because I know we are going we're living in a world where we are trying to make moves towards a more gender equal community, a more gender equal world. And although in Dominica we're doing so well with that, we're not only preparing our women, our girls for Dominica. Okay, you are going to travel, you are going to vacation, you are going to study, and so when you grow up with a sports background, when you have these values behind you, you are more capable of taking on challenges. You are more capable of standing in a room where there are others telling you that you do not belong here, or you have to work harder to succeed. And of course it's going to be difficult, but you have learned determination, you have learned diligence, you have learned self-reliance and resilience, and so you are better able to take on your challenges and to succeed. And so that is one of the reasons I focus on women. Going forward, I believe it is very important. One of the first steps is to invite successful sportswomen to speak to girls, to go to the high schools, to go to the college, to go to the primary schools, to speak to the women aspiring to be sports personnel or to become athletes and so on. It is, I think, when you hear about the journey from someone who has done it, who has gone through the challenges and who has come out on top, who has succeeded, it has a better impact on you than just hearing, oh, you can become a sports person, you can, these values help you grow. But hearing it from someone who has succeeded and hearing firsthand of the experiences, it's better, it comes across in a better way. And also, I believe it is important to work alongside the sporting event promoters and also the Ministry of Sports to find more sponsorship opportunities and also to have higher cash prices in the communities, in the community sporting events. These are incentives for young women to get into sports, to give sports a bigger chance. Oftentimes we focus on academics, and a lot of people believe that you can't have academics and sports, you know, because it's difficult to focus on academics and still do sports. But if there are opportunities in sports, if there are bigger opportunities in sports, if we know that, okay, I'm competing this weekend, there's a competition next weekend, there's a cash prize in this, and you know there are a number of sponsorship opportunities that you can go to study if you succeed in this one, then they are going to take more time to train, to practice, to give sports the opportunity to help themselves. And so these are some of the things I believe that we can do, that I am going to do, that I invite to do with my voice and with my platform to bring sports into a bigger light, because we have the potential in this country.
All right, Moesha has some great plans there for empowering women through sports in terms of her platform. Meeya, what is the platform you've chosen and why?
Yes, so the platform I've chosen is mental health in men specifically.
So we have on this side women, and on this side we're focusing on men. All right, I look forward to hearing more.
So mental health generally is important. I've always been big on mental health. I believe, you know, a healthy mind, you also have a healthy body. However, I have experienced personal life experiences which led me to focus on that specific area on men. So firstly, I had an instance with a family friend who was going through a mental depression. He tried speaking out to his friends. He was actually pushed away, and people even judged him as well. This person is currently a vagrant in Arizona.
Oh.
Yes, sadly.
I'm sorry.
And secondly, I had another family friend. He too was going through a mental depression stage. He tried speaking out, you know, no one listened to him really, and he committed suicide. So these two situations basically gave me the eye-opening that this is something that needs addressing in Dominica, even the region on the whole as well. I don't feel like our men are given the voice to speak out because we're quick to judge, laugh them, and we feel like men are the head of the household, the strong one. You know, even growing up, we will tell our boys, don't cry, you're not a girl. Even those simple things can lead to keep it inside, build up, and lead to mental depression. So recently I had a visit at the APU Center in Goodwill and had an opportunity to speak with a few men, and they shared their stories with me. A few of them mentioned that they too were going through the same issues. They had issues at home and they had no one to speak to, no one to talk to. and that eventually led them to become mentally unstable, hence the reason why they're at the APU center. So I feel like it's time that we give our men the voice that they deserve. So in the future, I would like to see, we can start small, like in the communities. We can go ahead and do even small mental evaluations around the community. And mainly, I would like to see a safe house being built in Dominica, where the persons can come in and have peer counseling, speak with professional psychiatrists, and also have an open area where they can just speak and express themselves without being judged. I feel like this facility should be open for any age range, as young as you're able to understand that you're going through emotions, to as old as possible. Also with that, what we fail to realize is that when we do ignore all men, we as women are affected. Because if they're unable to control their emotions, we are the one who get the lash back from their emotions. Also, I feel like we need a space for the family members, because they are the ones who deal with the mentally unstable persons. So I'd like to see that we have an open space for them as well. They can come in and learn how to deal with people properly, and that will assist them to be able to cope with the persons that are suffering from the mental depression, anxiety, or mental illness to the extent.
First of all, Meeya, I don't know how long ago it happened, but let me extend condolences to you on your friend who committed suicide. How long ago was that?
That was about 2 years.
About 2 years ago. And then the other friend who ended up, becoming mentally ill. And I know that I can say that on behalf of the viewers and listeners as well. We're sorry for the loss of your friend, first and foremost. Secondly, I think it says a lot when you speak of a particular platform based on experiences that you've had, and that you actually take the step and become involved. So you visited the APU and you had conversations.
Yes.
With some of the men in there. That already is an indication that you're onto something. You have some thoughts as it pertains to what you would like to see put in place. And I would like you to tell me, Meeya, what role do you see yourself playing in achieving some of those goals, win, lose, or draw in the competition?
Yes, definitely. So, win, lose, or draw, I would definitely like to be an advocate for our men in Dominica, and even regionally as well, because the entire Caribbean region is suffering from this issue with men suffering from a mental, specifically depression and anxiety. So I would like to be an advocate definitely for them, and I would like to be able to at least work, in the forefront, as in being able to be in the safe house as well, or even like a counselor or someone you can actually just speak to, express yourself. I would like to be involved fully.
You would like to volunteer your time,
definitely,
to be able to assist. And similar to what was asked of Moesha, and you spoke to it to some extent, but persons might be listening and saying, well, Meeya, the ladies also need some help as well, where mental instability, mental illness is concerned. But you did mention the reason why you're focusing on men. But the ladies, I'm sure, are also there in your heart as well.
Definitely. And also with women, we are much different. Once we go for a situation, we will come and say, hey, I'm not feeling myself today. This is what happened to me. We're able to actually express ourselves. And even with that small conversation with our friend, we are most times feeling better after that conversation. We had a good conversation with our friend. That's basically assisted us. However, it's very important to have a really stable mental state. So I guess eventually we can work around to accommodate our women in Dominica, but We're starting off with the men.
We starting off with the men.
Yes.
So the men are getting some attention
Yes.
from Meeya in this instance. Wonderful. So ladies, the journey has begun, and it would have started from last year. You would have gone through a process. First, you would have had to apply, and then you would have had to await a call. Take us through that initial completing that application form and saying, yes, I'm ready to do this. Either one of you, go ahead.
So when I received the call, I would say I was quite in shock.
Really?
Yes, because well, at first I didn't really made up my mind that I wanted to go for the show. I was still a bit, in between. So when I got the call, I was shocked, but also excited as well that I was selected to be a Miss Dominica contestant representing my country. However, I must say the journey thus far has been fun, and I have been enjoying it. I've learned so much from the journey, so it has been great so far.
When I sent in my application, I thought I would have more time to for sure I did. I thought I would have more time to collect myself. Seeing as the deadline for the application, I believe, was September month last year, I thought, okay, because the show is in February, we have some time to get ourselves together, mentally prepare for what we're going to go through. But as soon as the applications went out, we received the email. What's it called? I received an email asking to come in for an interview. Soon after the interview, it did not take 3 days, I believe. They called us in for our first meeting together. Yes, and it has been a wild ride from there. Things were at 0, and then they went full on 100. There's something today, there's something tomorrow. Have you chosen your platform? Are you ready for that? And putting together your team. But I feel as though from the moment I put my team together, I settled, because there's a foundation, everything is laid. I have a support system, and there are people, because I have no experience in pageantry.
Neither you. I didn't ask you about that.
I have no experience in pageantry, so I came in with no idea of what to expect. But knowing that I have a team who has been in the industry for a while, who knows about talent, who knows about this and that, then I felt a bit more at ease. Okay, so they know what's coming next and what I have to do, how I should go into that. As well, I have learned a lot, but it has been exhilarating. It has, and in terms of time management, that I am learning. I am for sure learning that there are not enough hours in the day. There are never enough hours in the day, for sure. So you need to try to fit everything in, and still take out some time for yourself to catch yourself, because the days are long and they are hectic and a lot of things happen. But going into the next day, there are things to do, and so are you ready for the next day? How are you prepared for the next day, and so on. But I am enjoying the journey so far. I am. I know I'm going to. If I had the opportunity to change my mind, I would not. If I could do it again, I would.
Meeya, what changes did you have to make to accommodate this journey? What changes did you have to make?
So one of my biggest changes would have to be the movement from wearing flats to heels. That was my biggest challenge, I must say, because as I mentioned previously, I grew up on the tomboy side. So I always wear sneakers. That's my favorite thing, sneakers and sandals. So transitioning from flats to heels was my biggest challenge. Yes.
What about you? Was that the same for you, Moesha?
No.
What was the major change you had to make?
The major change, I believe, is how much free time I have now. I enjoy reading. I'm into fiction, novels, and so when I come from work, if there's nothing sports to do, because I picked up basketball recently in September, I was invited to try out basketball, and I went along to that. When the pageantry came along, I had to step away from how much time I gave basketball. But even that was not the biggest thing. Usually when I leave school and I come from basketball training, I have some time to sit and read a novel. I would go through 3-4 novels to the day. I would read it, yes. Now I do not have that luxury. So I think I've been trying to complete a novel since I started the journey to the front, and I have yet to complete that novel because of time. But downtime is the biggest thing. It's the biggest challenge. It's the biggest change that I've had to accommodate.
But I'll tell you something though. As much as possible, try to. I know it's hard. But try to pick up the book and read a few pages. Just give yourself that Moesha time to be able to do that. It's tough. Meeya, tell me about a typical day. Tell me what a typical day is like for you.
Okay, so I start work at 9 o'clock in the morning.
Lucky you.
Yes.
Okay, you can wake up a little late, you know.
Yes. So I start work at 9 o'clock in the morning and I end at 5:30. Then right after at 6 o'clock, I'll have to run to Alias to have DFT training, my walking training and my speech training with the girls. And that goes up to about 8 o'clock. And then right after that, I will maybe do like 1 hour of exercising, maybe gym. And right after, I'll go ahead and have more practice with speech and maybe walking sometimes. And even after I do those training with my team, I will just go ahead before bed, just read through some news feeds or just go through articles and so on, just to refresh my mind on topics that we're given. And then tomorrow, back to the same thing again.
But Meeya, it almost sounds like it's not so tough for you as yet, but it's coming. As it gets closer, because you're gonna have to go to talent practice.
Yes.
You have to do all of that. Yes, it's going to become a little tougher as time goes by. You spoke about rehearsals. You're used to flats,
Yes.
not doing much of the heels. What was the first day of training in heels like for you?
That was the worst. I remember my walking coach said, "No, you're not doing it well at all." It was really horrible. I was wobbling, I was falling. I'm like, no, I can't do that. Or if I'm wearing heels, I have to be very short heels or block heels, something that I can walk on.
And then you would graduate.
Yes. So what they did for me, so every day I would go ahead and go to work with heels. So I started off with the short heels, and then every week I'll go higher. So right now I'm on 6-inch stilettos. Yes, I can walk in 6-inch stilettos now.
And have you mastered the queenly walk?
Well, I would say yes.
And the pivoting and the strutting and all of that, yes?
I would say yes. We'll see on the show.
What about you, Moesha, and the heels? Were you accustomed or was it new for you as well?
Oh no, heels are something I'm used to. I grew up in church, so for sure I wore heels to church every weekend.
Okay.
So it's something that I am used to. Of course, it was not the queenly walk and the strutting and the pivoting, but I have comfort. I'm comfortable in them. What was new, of course, is learning how to stretch and how to turn and how to move. Okay, but I didn't have to start so low as in here. But yes.
So how has the training itself been? Are you ladies now comfortable? Let's say, and we're talking about the walking still, because I know this one is critical. It has to be mastered for the swimwear round. It has to be mastered for the evening wear round. And when you hit that stage, especially in swimwear, you really have to walk well and give the pageant walk, if that's what it's called. Do you feel comfortable, let's say, if the show were to be this weekend, that you would be comfortable walking in your 6-inch or your 5-inch or 6-inch, whatever inches that you choose to walk in?
For me, I would say definitely yes. Yes, I'm ready to walk.
Yes.
You'd be ready.
I'll be ready, for sure. The show isn't that far away.
It is definitely not far away. 9:26 is the time in the studios. Again, if you're just tuning into the program, we're here with the 2 M's. competing for the title of Miss Dominica on February 16, 2023. It is at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium. That's where the show is going to be. It's five ladies competing this time around. Contestant number 1 and number 2 are here. Contestant number 3 couldn't be with us. Hopefully contestant number 3 can join contestant number 4 and 5 for next Monday on the program. What has been the biggest challenge so far in terms of your preparations for this competition?
Well, for me, along with the transition from to heels, I would say my public speaking, because so as I mentioned previously, I would say I'm a very introverted person. I'm very quiet, I'm very shy. You know, if I go out, I will not speak unless I'm spoken to. But now I was given the opportunity to be able to go on talk shows, and radio, and all the functions, and this has definitely assisted me with my public speaking. And I'll always be more confident as well when I'm stepping out and speaking with persons. So I would say that's the biggest challenge throughout the journey thus far. But I'm doing quite well now.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. What has been the biggest challenge for you, Moesha?
Well, from all the aspects of the show, I don't think that anything came with such a huge difficulty. I respond well to instructions. But one of the things I will say I struggled with was my smile. Yes. And so they kept reminding me, my walking coach kept reminding me to smile, always smile. And very early on in my walking practice, it would come up really bright and fade. And I did not know how to keep it up and bright. But that was something that I had to work on. It wasn't something that she could teach me. And I went home, and some people told me, just think about something that makes you smile. But the issue was I kept focusing on perfecting the things that they were teaching me. And so because of that, you could see on my face that I was focused and not enjoying it and so on. But as soon as I got things down, as soon as I learned how to do what I needed to do, the smile came and it stayed. So I overcome that challenge.
There's 5 rounds of competition, if I'm not mistaken. There is the costume.
Yes.
There is the talent,
Swimwear,
evening wear, question and answer.
Yes.
You spoke about fear of competition a little earlier on in the program. Is there a fear of any of those rounds?
No.
No.
No. I believe I'm adequately prepared for the competition. I'm not afraid, no.
You're not afraid?
No.
What about you, Meeya?
So I won't use the word afraid, but I'm least looking forward to the question and answer round. But I wouldn't say a fear.
So the question and answer round always seems to be the one to stir up conversation, right? If not a question and answer round on the night of the competition, and I want both of you to give this some thought. So let's eliminate the question and answer round. Just say, what would you put in its place?
Well, it's something that I've thought about already, so I don't need to sit too long. An interview. Yes, because I have seen myself so comfortable, speak so well in an interview because it seems as though it's a conversation.
So something like what we're having now.
Something like what we're having now. So allow the contestants to come on stage, sit with someone and have a conversation. The questions will still be asked, but it won't be a, what do you believe? It will be more so, we're comfortable, we're having a conversation, tell me your opinion. And the people keep reminding me that the question and answer round is essentially that. They're asking for your opinion, and they won't ask a question on a topic that you have no idea about. They're asking about, for your bio question, they're asking about yourself, and for the other question, they're asking about things that you have, that you know information about. And so if it is that, then I see no issue if the question and answer was eliminated.
But could it be that if you're sitting in an interview setting, that you might be a bit more comfortable or more relaxed, more at ease than having to stand and have a mic in your hand or a mic in your face answering the question? Do you think that probably would make the difference?
I think what helps is the tell me about yourself question. But essentially, the bio question is the tell me about yourself question. So if I think about it, for sure, simply sitting, of course, would give that.
Would make a difference.
Yes, it's comfortable.
Meeya, do you think standing, sitting, interview setting, what do you think?
So standing or sitting, I don't feel that make a difference. So I would maybe think of maybe like a more opinionated round, where instead of giving like a fully formal answer with a structure, we would just more give like an opinion on certain issues or topics.
I think to some extent, I think that's what it is. You know, probably not so formal questions.
Yes.
You know, so for you though, Meeya, what would you change in terms of the actual setup? Structured questions, standing, Fedina, Raymond, where we did it for the last 2 competitions, with a mic, you know, asking you questions, or maybe a similar suggestion to what Moesha said, a setting like what we're having now, with maybe somebody that you're comfortable with, maybe your speaking coach or something. I'm just, you know, is that something you think that might make you a bit more comfortable for the question and answer?
I would say so, yes. So if we have someone that we're comfortable with, and also like if we're given like a series of questions we can choose from, like we had the questions previously.
So you want you want the actual questions?
Yes, but like
not the topics. You want questions.
The questions, but we have like all of them, and we just dip and choose a question. You never know what to pull up.
So you would be fine preparing for that.
Yes.
And you think you would probably deliver better on the
so.
night of the competition. All right, great suggestions, ladies. I'm sure it's something that probably, you know, going forward, that it can be considered, because the question and answer segment always poses somewhat, I don't want to say a threat, but you know, it can make it's on the night. While you even taking part in your other rounds, your mind is already on that question and answer round, and you know what is going to happen, you know what question you're going to get, especially if you see, you know, you did really well in the other rounds, and then question and answer is coming and you say, boy, just don't mess me up. An answer segment. But what about the other rounds? Are you comfortable with the other rounds? Are you generally prepared? Your costume, not selling out your business, of course, but your talent and your gowns, your swimwear, and all of that, are things moving along nicely?
Yes, definitely. I'm looking forward specifically to the swimsuit run. This will be my favorite run for sure, because I'll be showcasing myself. I'll show people how confident I am with my body. I love my body, because I have received comments about my size, that I'm so small and all that. But I like people to see that I love my body. Every inch, every protruding bone, I love it. So I want to show you that.
So, so that it doesn't bother you that people think you're very slim, you're very slender.
Not at all.
That's the level of confidence that we need to have. Moesha, what about you? Have you gotten any?
Well, not directly, you know, and I do not have a Facebook page.
You don't?
No, I do not. And so if any comments came up, I have no idea. But if they do in the future, overall, I think my size is the thing I'm most proud of.
Okay.
I love that I am small. I've always been that size. And although I may joke, oh my god, I'm trying to put on a few pounds, it's a joke. It's a joke. I'm very comfortable with my size and how I am now.
And you know, ladies, with any time you make that decision to participate in a competition like this, politics, whatever, you know, you expect the public will have their views on certain things. You have to learn to be like Teflon and just have it dust off, you know, like banana leaf, or like JL says, dashing leaf, you know.
slide off.
And just let it slide off. You know, it will happen. You know, you just have to not worry about. Be confident in yourself and be focused on the goal ahead, and not really be focused with any type of negativity, you know, that may want to come your way. It will come your way. It will happen. You know, in everyday life it happens anyway. Much as for when you get in the spotlight. No pun intended. You've recently had your village launches. Are all village launches done?
Yes.
All are completed. You recently had your village launches, and I suspect that gave you an opportunity as well to get your support from your people. So how did your village launches go? Let's start with you, Meeya.
So for me, it was great. I had a lot of support, specifically from the Maho community, because that's where I launched in the Maho Carnival. So people from Masak and Kinfield came on to Maho to support me, and I was able to interact with a lot of people. You know, all the kids especially, they come up to me, take pictures and talk to me. It was very fun, a very great experience, I must say.
Who attended?
So all of the girls came along with the DFC, my family members, and all the people, the carnival lovers, regulars, came on.
Okay. Well, how was yours, Moesha?
In fact, my heart is still full from Friday, and I was not expecting the turnout that I received. When I arrived in Castlebrus, my parade started in Castlebrus and ended in Petite Soufrière. My launching was on Friday from 6 in the evening. So after a long week, I was launched. But the support that I received, the number of people who turned out to support me, and the number of people who showed so much faith in me, although it seems as though, okay, not for sure you can disappoint them, you know, but it was not a matter of you have to make sure you win. It's a matter of we're going to support you. You have a complete support. We're going to show up on the night of the show, and you're going to look out in the crowd and you're going to see us. See that we're going to support you in spite of everything. These people continue to follow up every day. Some people follow up every day. How is it going? Is everything okay? What time is the interview? I'm going to listen. And so overall, my launch, I believe it's an event I'm going to remember forever and ever and ever. And also it gives me an opportunity to boast of my community and of our unity. I am so happy, and I'm so thankful to all of the people who showed up, and also the people who were more excited than I was and started talking about the launch weeks before the actual event. And also I want to mention the Jura family for coming out, for planning, helping my chaperone in any way possible, and for handling the little things. Okay, ensuring that everything went perfect. My team, the Jura family, the entire Petite Soufrière community, the entire constituency, from Castlebrus to Petite Soufrière, big thank you.
What did that do for you?
It gave me a boost, and it's something that I'm going to remember in the moments that I may get frustrated, because there's a pressure that I place on myself. You know, you have to get this, but from the support that I received, it gave me an extra boost into the competition, knowing that these people are going to come out, and that although there are going to be nerves before the competition for sure, no matter how confident I know that I am, before you step out, you're going to hear the noise outside, you're going to hear the music, and you know, I have worked so hard for this. The moment is here, it's time for me to do what I need to do. But simply knowing that I have so many people out there waiting for me to come out and showcase what I have prepared for, is boosting my confidence and in not only myself, but also in what I am, in the people that I am representing overall.
Meeya, when the dust was settled and Maho Carnival launch was over, and Meeya was launched as the contestant for that area, you went home. How did you feel?
So for me, I would say after my launching, I felt more confident, because throughout the day, the amount of love and support I received, I felt great, I must say. Even like simple things, they would say like, you know, you're doing great, I'm proud of you. That actually gave me the boost on that day as well. So when I went home, I felt very satisfied knowing that people are actually looking at me, looking up to me, and are supporting me, and feel like I am able to represent them. So I would say a very proud moment for me, and it actually boosted my self-confidence for sure.
What do you want to say to them, especially as it pertains to the support they've provided so far, and the night of the show?
So let me say a big thank you to everyone who has been supporting me throughout this journey from the beginning, and I know they'll definitely be there at the end. A special thanks to them, because their support is really what keeps me pushing and going on for this journey. You know, without the support from teams and people, you know, you may feel disappointed or discouraged, but the support has been great, and that is what really keeps me going for every day.
The competition is almost here. By the way, I just wanted to find out from you, Moesha. You said you do not have any social media.
I don't have Facebook.
You don't have Facebook.
No.
You have, what do you have?
Instagram.
You have Instagram. Okay,
Yes.
what about you, Meeya?
So I have Facebook and Instagram.
You have Facebook and Instagram. Okay, I thought you just were not into social media and wanted to inquire as to why. Because in spite of the one or two little negative things that may come, you know, social media can actually help.
Yes.
With your journey, and you know, garnering support and that kind of thing. So you know, definitely, and we've seen it. Dominica Festivals has been posting quite a bit about you ladies. By the way, how was the photo? Oh my God, you all look so well. Everybody looks so beautiful. How was the photo shoot?
It was great, I must say.
For sure.
And the flying dress.
Yes, that was awesome.
It's an entire experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
Tell me about it. I did that experience, and it was a really good experience. I just want to use the opportunity to give some kudos to the folks at the Dominica Festivals committee, the Queen Show committee, whoever is working with you guys, your teams, Discover Dominica, Ministry of Tourism, you know. I'm really loving what I'm seeing. I love the way that you all were unveiled or released via the Dominica Festivals page. And I really love, you know, what I've been seeing so far in terms of this journey. And I'm looking forward to a really, really, really fantastic show. And it is on that note I want to find out from you ladies, what is in store for the patrons, for your fans, for your supporters, for the folks who are going to come to Festival City or Carnival City on the night of the 16th. To the folks, by the way, who are going to be able to view it via Flow TV, we're going to do pay-per-view, so you will be able, if you're listening and you're not able to come, or granny want to watch, my God, TV, yes, and you have Flow TV, you better get ready. We'll be giving you the opportunity. It'll also be online. So what we want to know, ladies, Zogade Bell Sola, Zotujugagade Bell, and we know you all will be looking pretty on the night. But tell us what you're going to be bringing, what we're going to be experiencing, what we're going to be getting for our money.
So for me, I would like to say we're going to stay in some suspense. But definitely, I would encourage everyone to come to the show, because I know we're going to bring out a really good show for you guys. So everyone should come on February 16th to support myself along with the other ladies, and you'll see what I'm in store for you.
Good vibes going on with the ladies? Everybody good?
Definitely, yes.
Yes, okay. All right.
Well, seeing as it's not just one young lady making up the show, tonight I'm going to say from all of us, it is going to be a show that you do not want to miss. It is going to be a matter of, you've seen the first lady and wow, and the second one comes out wow, the third one comes out wow, you're looking forward to the next round and the next round. It's going to be excitement, it's going to be creativity. You're going to have an overall new, different, fun experience, for sure. I look forward to seeing all of you on February 16th.
All right. Ladies, I'm going to give you a final opportunity as we're getting ready to wrap things up here, to just, you know, give some final comments, thank those you need to thank, and just leave us with some nice parting words.
So firstly, I'd like to thank my sponsors, The Construction Solution and Convenience Plus Limited. Thank you so much for coming on board to assist me with this on my journey. I will definitely make you all proud. And to my team as well, thank you so much for working with me and doing your best to keep me going, keep me motivated throughout the journey. To my family and friends, thank you as well. And also the persons listening, especially persons who are suffering from the lack of confidence, or you know, you're not sure if you're able to go and put yourself forward. always be bold. It's important to be bold and be yourself. You are responsible for your happiness and your success. So ignore all the negative comments or people who are trying to deter you from doing what you like to do. You should be yourself and just do great things. Step out and be bold.
Tell us again about your sponsor. Let's give them some.
Yes, so I'm sponsored by a sister company, Convenience, which is located in Maho for all your grocery items. And Deconstructions is located in Jimmet for all your hardware products. And we also do renting of backhoe and trucking services.
Special thank you to my sponsor, Dominica National Lottery. And I just want to remind you of our motto, everything is possible. So is it going to be Big Four, Super Six, or the others? I encourage you to play and support an organization that supports growth in the sporting and cultural areas of our country. Special thank you to my chaperone and my team, my family and friends, to the people of Piditsufria, and to the people who got to know me through the pageant but gave me their full support. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. To everyone tuning in, and those of you who are going to see this interview later on, remember that doubt kills more dreams than failures ever will. So go out there and know that you're capable of so much. Know that you have the potential to succeed, and although the fear will come, what you do with it is what is important. Thank you.
And a huge thank you to you ladies for consenting to be here tonight. It was a real pleasure. We just had a conversation. This wasn't an interview, it was just a conversation that we had. And maybe going forward, I think it's been done in the past that the question and answer was actually done in an interview type setting, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe it's something to consider. Maybe it might be more comfortable for the ladies, whatever the case might be. But thank you to Meeya and Moesha.
Thank you.
And go out on February 16th, Thursday, February 16th. It's no longer on a Friday. Friday is going to be Sunrise, and Saturday is going to be the Calypso Finals. And then all the other good time that comes after that. So go support this too, and the 3 other ladies as well. I have a very good feeling that it's going to be a good night on that night. Thank you again, ladies. Thank you to Cohen, Ogeli, and the team at DFC for ensuring that the ladies were here tonight for the interview or the conversation. Thank you to you for tuning in and for viewing. This is the In the Spotlight radio show. What a wonderful way to start off our first program, our first live program for 2023. Join us next week, Monday, and hopefully the 3 other ladies will be here to continue this line of conversation. Good night, everyone. Thank you. Meeya was tuned in tonight. Thank you, Meeya, my sister Gail, my stepmom, and all the amazing folks, especially the team members of the ladies who tuned in to the program. We'll be back next week, Monday, God willing. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful, wonderful night.